Welcome to the tutorial on the FP Goal Tracker. This tool was actually created based on user feedback. As we had a lot of people go through the program and got to chapter 5 around savings, one of the first principles we teach is save with purpose. And people were struggling, how do I keep track of that? And some people have, spreadsheets or other systems that keep track. But as a result, we created this goal tracker to help people bring purpose to their savings as well as keep track of that. Before we launch into the goal tracker, I do want to point out that in the FP calculator, your goals are actually established um, in the savings portion, chapter 4. You can see we set up all these goals. We put the monthly amount, we put the total goal, and whether it was one time or reoccurring. If you want instructions on that, go back to the tutorial on the FP calculator. But that's what drives a lot of the data, a lot of the setup for the goal tracker. The other thing that we've done is we've created a little toggle from the calculator to the goal tracker so they can work in tandem with each other. So right up here, it says switch to the goal tracker. So we're going to launch it this way. You could go to resources and go back and launch it from the resource page, but this is a quick way to bring in there. So as you can see, when we set up the goals in the calculator, we had these reoccurring goals, as well as we had these one-time goals. And so you can see that we sort them on different pages, just because the reoccurring goals, you're typically in and out throughout the year, where your one-time goals are usually saving to a certain dollar amount, and then you a lot of times spend it all at once. The other thing we've done is if you want to hit this little expand all, if you're a picture person, this shows you kind of how the money goes up and down, as well as recent transactions. On the one-time goal, the expanded view looks a little different. It's more of a bar chart that shows once you've reached your goal, it tells you you've done so, and you may want to change how much you're putting into that goal or reallocate it to other areas since you've completed your goal. The other thing that we've added to this is the ability to bring uh, alignment or balance with your bank account. And so when you first open this through the launch feature, it will ask you what your current bank balance is. So literally go online, take the balance in the bank and add it in the pop-up screen, or of course you can hit this little button here and it will ask you what your bank balance is. Go ahead and put the current amount in, and that's what the bank has. And this FP balance represents what you have allocated or set aside in there. And if there's a difference, it means that you need to reconcile the FP balance with the bank balance. And I'll go through that in just a minute. So to jump back into the individual goals, and I'm going to collapse it all so it's easier to work with. These three little dots gives you some function within each one. So, you're building for a vacation account. I think we had an annual goal of 3,000 there. You're putting money in monthly to achieve that 3,000. But we've we've given you the ability to add deposits, add withdrawals. You can edit the goal, which actually brings you back into the FP calculator, or you can view the full history. Why would you add a deposit into vacation that's kind of outside of the norm? Well, say you got a tax refund or a bonus or some kind of rebate, and you want to put that money in savings. It's one of the principles we taught in chapter 4. And you want to allocate it to one of your goals. You can simply deposit the money into savings and then go ahead and select which goals you're going to add that money to by add deposit. Maybe you go on vacation and you spent some money. You spent, you had a extended weekend where you spent some of this $1,500. Maybe there's a bill 750 you got to pay, and you took money out of savings to pay for it. Well, you would add a withdrawal showing that withdrawal of 750 bucks, and so you can keep track of how much you actually have in your savings. I love this feature, full history. If you click on full history, it will show you all the transactions in your individual goals that you have, all the deposits you made, any of the withdrawals that you've had. Hit back to Goal Tracker, and it brings you back to this. But it'll give you a complete history, and it's kind of endless. That history will be out there forever. So you can keep track of where you've spent money as you think about adjusting your goals in the future. It's always good to go back and look at where you spent your money, et cetera, et cetera. Here's another feature of that. If you view full history, we have clothing account as one of those goals. You can see that we put $100 a month in, and here was a withdrawal. We purchased something at Kohl's, and so we spent $49.99 on that. Shows up as withdrawal. Just as a way for you to keep track of assigning a purpose to every dollar in savings. And that's what this tool is created for. If you're out of balance, there's some ways to get it back into balance. First of all, when you first set it up, it's important to put the bank account in there and then go ahead and take whatever you have in savings and allocate it to your various goals so you have balance on day one. But then you can always go back to the last point you were in balance with the bank. So in this case, 13,283.56. If you go back into your online statement savings account and find that balance, you can look at all the transactions that happened from that point to today where you're out of balance. And I think what you'll note here is the only thing missing that creates this $1,150 difference is that we actually had an auto transfer that took place from our monthly commitment account into the savings. So once a month, you're transferring money from checking over to savings to fund your monthly goals. And so that amount equals that auto transfer. But you do need to put the auto transfer into the goal tracker. Now, instead of having you go in and take every single one and add the monthly amount, we've created this button right here that says Add Monthly Deposit. So if you click on that, it brings up that says, okay, for February of 2025, here's a summary of all of the things that we plan to, the auto transfer covered, and that adds to the, $1,150. And all you have to do is save and complete, and it will automatically add all the money to the individual accounts that you set up, and you can see that the difference is zero. So it's really important to understand that this tool is something that you need to stay actively engaged in. I would say once or twice a month, you should go in and look at your bank balance and put it in here and see if there's a difference. Then go back and look at your savings transactions and see if there's anything that you forgot to record associated with any of your goals, either deposits or withdrawals. Don't forget, you get paid interest on your savings. So as you get paid interest, the question is, what goal are you going to assign that interest to? So all saving or all interest goes to vacation or gifts or whatever you want it to be. But each transaction that hits your savings account should be reflective in one of your goals in the FP Goal Tracker. That should complete the tutorial of today's session for the FP Goal Tracker. Have fun with this. Make sure you stay engaged with it on a regular basis, monthly, twice a month. And you'll find that once you keep track of your goals at this level of detail, it will be fun to save. It will be enjoyable to spend guilt-free on things that you've set money aside for. So take care, and we'll see you in the next video.